Hello friends, followers, channel members, happy Friday. So it's the end of another week and I thought, well, we'll do something a little bit different Friday afternoon stream as we spend a couple of hours over Brazil, a part of the world which I probably don't feature very often on the channel, so always nice to do something a little bit different. Kind of take me out of my comfort zone as well, flying in an area which we're not familiar with. We are still live on VATSIM though, so not I think we've got any air traffic control around, sadly, but even so, we are there. So yeah, definitely looking forward to this as we fly from Sao Paulo up to Brasilia. Both have got amazing freeware scenery airports as well, so we'll check those out in due course. So thank you for joining us this afternoon. The flight time is about it's about an hour and a half, so a couple of hours sort of block time. We're scheduled to depart in a little over half an hour, so we'll get going. I obviously need to read through things perhaps a little bit more thoroughly because I've got no sort of familiarization with either of these two airports. It's brand new for me. One of the interesting things on the operational flight plan you can see on screen is there's a nice headwind slowing us down as well. So a headwind of 4 to 7, which is obviously pretty strong going. So it's daylight as well, which is always good fun. I have no idea what the weather's doing. I've not had a chance to look through the operational flight plan. We'll do that together in a moment. That is, if I got that pinned into the chat, I might not have pinned that if you're watching on YouTube. Hang on a second. Yeah, there we go. That should be pinned now, so you can check that out. Welcome to our Twitch viewers as well. Ruben, hello. And of course our Easyjet Invite channel members. Hello to all of you guys. Hey, Liana, BM Lock, Mark, Terry, Andy. Oliver says this is perfect timing. Just starting a 2-hour train journey. Well, hope the signal holds out for you. Captain Q, good to see you. Hey, Cleaver, good to see you as well. So let's get cracking. Let's have a look at the Clever Trevor. I know Clever. I don't know why I call you Cleaver. It's just stuck in my mind now, so I'll try and remember Clever. Anyway, yeah, this is a real-world LATAM flight. Usually departs quite early on in the morning, their local time, of course, something like 5:30 in the morning, which I presume this time of year is probably just the dawn's breaking. I bet it looks absolutely spectacular. Local time at the moment here is coming up to 1:45 midday. So what we got? We're full, no underload, so cost index of 4, that's just left over from our usual Easyjet stuff. As I say, we mentioned the trip wind, we've got a nice full payload. The alternate, Sierra Bravo Charlie Fox, no idea where that is, but I presume it's somewhere semi-sensible. Let's have a look then. 513 miles, the shear rate looks fine, just under 8 tons fuel. Can we take any extra? We could do, but let's see what the weather's playing at. Right, now I want to pay particular attention to the Mora here because I don't know what the terrain's like. Doesn't look like anything is above 10,000 feet, so that's all okay. Quick look at the weather, and we can see that's all okay. That's all Cat 1 stuff, which is perfect when landing somewhere in unfamiliar territory. Okay, and let's just have a look at the forecast then. What date is it? It's the 26th, so quick check. Winds 300 at 2, so the winds are just pretty much going to stay light. A very small chance of rain later on. We'll have landed by then, so yeah, actually it looks okay. Recent rain there at the moment with a few towering cumulus clouds. Winds variable 2 knots. Yeah, it's perfect. Great weather. Looking forward to that. So that is our flight route with the alternates around it. It looks so small, doesn't it? Brazil is an absolutely massive country. Oh, this is interesting. So we have got isolated embedded cumulonimbus clouds up to 50,000 feet. Well, we're obviously not going to fly over the top of those. So we might need to fly around them, which is fine. So we'll maybe take a little bit of extra fuel then, just for that. Of course, the interesting thing about this is we're starting at about 3,000 feet above sea level anyway, which is not the normal thing we get in Europe. Let's have a look at the NOTAMs there, see if there's anything that's jumping out at us. That's runway closures, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Nothing on a Friday, that's fine. Destination information. Firefighting, rescue, okay, I'm not going to be too worried about that. Paramotors, they're not going to affect us in the sim. Aerobatics, hopefully we'll not get any of those on the stream. Anything with regards to stuff that might be closed? Runway there. Okay, that's overnight. That's an overnight closure. Okay, looks like no times are fine as well. Right. Well, in that case, extra fuel. I think the weather's looking that good. We'll just we'll take 8 tons, which is a little bit more than the planned block fuel, but 8 tons dead on I think will work nicely for us. Let's have a look at the charts. So this is the departure chart. Now it almost looks a little bit misleading, this. So if you have a look at the arrival chart for our departure airport, this is the arrival chart, and there we can sort of see we've got a bit of terrain there to the north, remembering of course, as I said, that we're at 2,500 feet already as we begin today. So when you can see that terrain there at sort of 3,000 feet and 4,000 feet, it's perhaps not quite as high as the first impression may give you, because we're not starting off at sea level, but it's definitely worth noting that we've got terrain to the north of the field there. MSA as well, as you can see the top right hand corner, MSA is 5,200 to the south, and then increases by sort of 700-800 feet to the north. So I also find it interesting here as well, you for obvious reasons, the go around here is if you're departing on the northerly runway, it's to the left. If you're on the southerly runway, it's obviously to the right, and that's obviously to prevent, you know, aircraft crashing into each other as one departs and one goes around, etc. My interesting thought here is if we had an engine out, that we've got to build up our own engine out procedure for this airport. I would want to go to the left. I would not want to go to I would want to go to the right. I would not want to go to the left, because, well, that means turning north, and that is exactly what that terrain is. So we'll build up an engine out procedure which keeps us safely away from all of that, and that'll be fine. But just going back to that departure then, there's a maximum speed of 230 knots, and I would say an initial climb altitude of flight level 100. There's nothing on the charts giving us an initial climb altitude. So departure performance aircraft restriction at 223180 or above shall be accomplished, otherwise the pilot should request another SID. Now we should be able to do that, that's fine. So yeah, we're not, I mean, that's track mileage wise, that is 60 miles. Yeah, we can get it for 180 over 60 miles, that's no problem. Transition altitude is 8,000 feet, and we've already mentioned that MSA. So yeah, that I think pretty much gives a sort of standard brief and overall picture of the airport where we are. So let's go and find our aircraft, where I believe the clouds are just starting to come over. There we go. We'll get the latest METAR as well in a moment. But yeah, this is, as I say, it's freeware airport, available from FlightSim.to. Looking rather nice though, I think. I think we've got the whole airport to ourselves. Sadly, not that much traffic around Brazil on VATSIM. Mind you, as I say, it's lunchtime there, isn't it, in real world? In fact, the visibility looks like it's dropping a little bit. You just look into the background underneath the jetway, and yeah, almost looks like we could be in for a little bit of rain in the vicinity. Anyway, let's get online. Let's get in our aircraft. There we are. So with that, before we go any further, let's just tell the ground crew, etc., what we want. So just grab the flight plan in there, get that imported. Mass and balance page, and we want 8 tons of fuel, please. There we go. That'll all get itself sorted in due course. Let's get the latest weather then. Indeed, the METAR does say overcast. Just update that, make sure we've got the latest one. Right, so winds currently 140 at 7. Visibility is okay, but as I said, overcast at 1,500 feet. QNH is 1018. And yeah, as I said, just having a look sort of around the area. I mean, it might be prudent to do our takeoff performance calculations with a wet runway, because that to me looks like we could sort of almost get to holding short of the runway, and then it absolutely teams it down, and then we're stuck and we need to do a takeoff performance calculation again. So we might as well just sort of err on the side of caution there. Right, let us do our usual stuff. So aircraft scenes, turnaround phase. Of course, I will be flying to my usual standard operating procedures. I don't know how LATAM do it, so please don't think that anything I do here is exactly the same way that LATAM do it, because I've got no idea how they operate their aircraft. Voltsy says, how do you normally clean up the flight plan in the A320NX? The fly-by-wire doesn't allow you to set the extended centerline. Alright, Voltsy, that is a great question, actually. So, all you could probably do is you could still tidy up the flight plan, but you can't add the extended runway centerline. I do understand that. You could perhaps use the fix this page with your landing runway threshold, and then pop the an extended line from that by popping in the reciprocal, couldn't you? Probably not the radius, but I can't think of the word now. I don't know, hang on, what's it called? Radial, that's it. You could put the radial in there. So yeah, my mind went blank for a moment there, but yeah, pop the radial in there, and that's probably the best you could do with that. Right, let me have a look at the overhead, make sure that's the same. Clever, you can, the fly-by-wire does allow extending the centerline. How do you do that though? Mind you, I've not flown the fly-by-wire for a while, so does that actually allow you to go direct to a waypoint and pop in the entry radial? Because that's how you should do it. How you should do it properly, not the way I've just shown you with entering the radial like that. Go away. Right, so the pumps are off. That's fine. External power is connected. APU is off. Packs are off. That's fine. Just turn those off. Seatbelt signs are off. Nav logo lights are on. Just check we've got our thrust levers and thrust masters, spoilers, flaps, parking brake, landing gear. They're all fine. Acupressure's in the green. Good. Scale constraints on. So that initial climb as well, we've just said it's going to be flight level 100, that's fine. Why is that on standard? So QNH is 1018 and 121 decimal 5. That's on the VHF2, make sure that's monitored. Just turn these lights on, a little bit dark. There we are, that's fine. And 1018, and we're all set. Lovely. Company message come through, that'll be our flight plan. Let's start getting the passengers loaded in then. Max Ellis says, just finished doing circuits in the Phoenix. Thank you for the video. Very welcome. Good afternoon, Dr. Magic. Hope you're well. Cleaver, we'll discuss this in cruise then, yeah, if we can remember. Right, let's set up the box then. So, IRS, 3 nap greens, aircraft status. Yep, new air cycle out today, or yesterday, wasn't it? So make sure that's updated if you're flying anywhere. Let's do our in request. Want it to come through. Right, how's our flight number then? It is Tango Alpha Mike Tam 3598. Cost index of 4, a very Easyjet cost index, never mind. Tropo is 58,000 feet, close. Grab the winds. There we go. Kiroki's IRS in it, so stand number today 303 Romeo, so 2325 9 south and 4628 9 west. Again, coordinates you don't often see on this channel. Nice to be a little bit different this Friday afternoon. Okay, so they're downloaded and we're cruising at 34,000 feet with a temperature of minus 41. Warm as well. Alright, let's do the departure. So we're expecting 10 left, which is last time I checked what they were using in real life. UK Bev 1 Delta. And the arrival is Arula 1 Alpha for 11 right. Which one is it? Because there are a couple. The ILS Yankee is the one I want, I think. ILS Yankee. Is this the Yankee? Yankee 11 left. Have I gone past it? I must have. Oh, there it is, down at the bottom. Comes in via Lovela. Arula 1 Alpha arrival via Lovela. Alright, distance 513. Oh, 513, they match perfectly. Wonderful. Radnav page, not that many nav aids around here, which surprised me actually. I thought there would be more knocking about. That's not the right one. Get rid of that. Oh, it's not a nav aid, it's the inner marker. Fair enough. Not bother tuning to that then. So no nav aids that we need, and let's have a look at our load sheet. So zip across here. Hey Dark Fury, how you doing? Christian, good afternoon to you. Hope you're all doing well. Stabro, hola to you. Received messages. Okay, zero fuel weight then is 61. Wow. Okay, hang on. And CFG 31.5. Alternate fuel is 2.4 tons. I'll do fuel planning. So say we're going to take 8 tons of fuel. Aircraft wants 7.4, that's fine, so let's just take the amount of fuel we're taking. CNR on the OFP is 3.5, so just update minimum destination fuel on board as well, because it's just out by 1. Just update that there. And basically tells us we've got around 15 minutes sort of extra fuel on board there. So a takeoff weight of 68.8, that makes us quite heavy. In fact, well, our max takeoff weight is 73.5 tons. Our max landing weight is 66. So that's fine. We're looking to land probably about just under 65 tons. Okay, on to our performance page. Then CFG is 29.5. Let's do the performance calculations then. Old Novice Pilot, hello. Hope you're working hard, Old Novice. Christian, you've just had to head back into work because some truck drivers can't read their delivery notes. Were they written in German? Right, where are we departing from? 10 left. Oh, I'm guessing this, the Phoenix performance calculator must have old data then, because that's got 9 left in it. I'm presuming that's going to be the right runway. So yeah, as I say, we're going to I'm just going to preempt what looks like a rather wet day outside. So we'll go flaps. Flaps 1. I don't know if flaps 2 is the norm for LATAM, but there we go. Anti-ice absolutely off. Packs off. Takeoff weight of 68.8, and that CFG is 29.5. Single live weather. Intersection data, full length. Yeah, I suspected that might be the case. And Marcus, we're flying to your hometown. Excellent. I hope the weather's nice. So, what have we got? 144 is V1. 155 is VR. 157 V2. Transition altitude 8,000 feet. Flaps 1 and a flex of 61. Okay, so the thrust reduction acceleration altitudes I'm going to leave unless, let me just have a quick look because I haven't read through all of these charts, but is there anything about noise abatement? I'm wondering if noise abatement 1 might just be preferred here, just to get us up out of the way of that sort of terrain. Is there anything about noise abatement here? I'm guessing there probably won't be. And if you can't see anything, noise abatement 2 or as you wish. Oh, there you go. Takeoff restriction to batteries must comply with SIDS. Oh, that's it. Right, fair enough. Well, that's fine then. That's fine. Must comply with SIDS. We will indeed comply with the SID, and yeah, I think LATAM or the EFB in Phoenix is set to using 1,800 feet as the thrust reduction acceleration altitude, so we can stick with that. So let's leave that as is and go to our secondary flight plan, and we're going to work out what's going to be a safe way to operate an engine out procedure here. So I'm thinking we will continue sort of straight out from our airport. So what is it? Sierra Bravo Golf Romeo. Yeah, Sierra Bravo Golf Romeo, because I don't even know the ICO codes for this airport. And departure track is 095. And that's within 15 miles out there. Right, well, let's make that 7 miles out. Pop that in here. We're then going to fly south. So, place, bearing, distance, 180. We'll fly south 3 miles. And then what we will do after that is we will go to the waypoint Lomen, L-O-M-E-N, where we will then take up the hold. Inbound course is 235. Right turns. Okay, that looks alright to me, and then arriving back here at Sierra Bravo Golf Romeo. Arriving, I think they're using the other runway for arrivals, so that's going to be, what have I got on here? ILS 0, okay, 10 left, yeah, that'll work. No star. Is Loman one of the vias for this arrival? Ah, it is, brilliant. So that should work out well for us. Let's have a look. Oh, it would work out well for us if that was in the right place. I mean, to be fair, I can live with that, because that's straight out, right turn, and taking us safely in the hold. Yeah, that actually does work. Okay, happy with that. We're safe, and failures are turned on as well, so you know it could happen. Right, so with all that done, boxes set up, I think it's about time we can start sort of briefing everything. Looks like refueling is completed as well. Let's get the APU up and running. Marks as arrival here in Sao Paulo are 10 right. Oh, fair enough. I have got 10 left in there, but never mind. We could alter it in the hold if we really needed to. Right, APU's starting in, so let's do our usual brief, starting with the weather. Weather here is, it's okay, isn't it? Winds 140 at 7, so a little wind from the right as we depart. Overcast 1,500 feet. Anti-ice not going to be required for that. Looks like a little bit of rain in the vicinity, so we've done wet performance figures. Weather en route is okay, so there's some CBs that we might have to fly around and avoid. But that should be fine, and the weather in Brasilia also looks fine as well, all Cat 1 stuff. Aircraft is fully serviceable with the exception of the weather radar. No NOTAMs here or at our destination. Threats to be aware of: big threat, unfamiliarity. My situational awareness here of this place, because I don't know it, is sort of a little bit of a factor. We've got terrain as well to the north of the airport. I think we've got a bit of terrain as well further out to the northeast of the airport as well, and loads of terrain to the further out to the northeast of the airport, but that shouldn't be too much of a concern to us. So yeah, they're really threats. Unfamiliarity with the airport as well, so we'll be steady where we're going, taxiing, etc., stuff like stuff like that. So that's our biggest threat. So we'll just take things nice and steady. Let's discuss that taxi then. So we're stand 303, so we're going to push back facing south, and then we will taxi down then. We'll taxi straight down hotel, on to Bravo, right turn Bravo, cross runway 10 left. Sorry, we're departing runway 10 left, aren't we? So yeah, so we'll hold at we're actually holding at Golf just there according to the chart. Hold at Golf for runway 10 left for a full length departure. So that is actually a pretty short taxi, another little threat, so we'll take time to do stuff whilst we're stationary. Departure then is straight out, and then once above 2,900 feet it is a left hand turn. There's a speed constraint there of 230 knots. Clean speed is 223. I'll leave that all in managed speed because it's not a million miles away from the airport, that is it. So we'll leave everything in managed speed. Autopilot and auto thrust can sort that out. Initial climb is a flight level 100, not above that until after passing 316. After that we will continue the climb, and we want to be above flight level 250 again. Open climb or even managed climb will sort that for us. Transition altitude 8,000 feet. MSA as we depart 57, 59 at 50 miles further out. And again, just to sort of remind ourselves that we will be departing with our initial altitude 2,500 feet. I say that as a little threat to me just because I'm not used to doing it. So, so there we are. Right, APU is up and running. Excellent. Let's get the bleed on. Give that another minute. With that all done, I think we can get the pumps on. External power can of course come off because APU is running. And we get the seatbelt signs on. Company message come through. That should be our final load sheet, hopefully. Hello.
Hi, Captain. Just to let you know that everyone's on board.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, I'll let the crew know and we'll get closed up as soon as we can.
Final load sheet, takeoff weight 669, that's fine. 180 passengers, 2 infants, and 29.5 is our actual CFG, which is perfect, that's what we planned for. Hello.
Hi, Captain. Okay, here's the load sheet from ground. I've written the passenger count here, the crew count here, and the total number of souls, not including yourselves, here. No problem at all.
Excellent, we've got everything through there, so we're fine. Hey Bacchus, good to see you. 6581, good afternoon, says mid-afternoon at work, so much better now. That's it, a nice Friday afternoon stream to help those of you working from home. Okay, let's get a bit of bleed air on as well, because otherwise it's going to start and get rather stuffy in here. Alright, let's get GSX into position. A little shout out just to see what's happening on Unicom. Doesn't look like anything's happening there. So let's 122.8. Right, so with that, let's just quickly run the
We are ready for pushback.
Let's just run the cockpit prep checklist. So aircraft acceptance has been completed. Fuel quantity is 8 tons and balanced. Seatbelt signs are on. Adair's we've got 3 nav greens and QNH is 1018, 2,470 feet. Quick PA to everyone who's just joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome on board our flight from Sao Paulo to Brazil on this LATAM Airbus A320. The ground crew are now connecting up to our aircraft. We're getting ready to push back on time. We'll be cruising today at 34,000 feet. So to assist us with a timely departure, if you can get yourselves in your seats, seatbelts should now be fastened, and we'll get moving as quickly as we can. Thanks so much, and we'll speak to you once we're airborne. Hey Andy, good to see you. Amagos also says a quick visit whilst he's getting ready for work. The Sao Paulo traffic, TAM 3598, stand 303 Romeo, pushing back facing south.
Release the parking brakes, please.
And just before we do that, our before start checklist. So the parking brakes are on, takeoff data is confirmed, windows are closed, EFB is on flight mode, doors closed, and come on, there we go, armed, beacon light is on,
Release the parking brakes, please.
and parking brakes are released.
Commencing push. All engines clear.
Alexander, mate, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub gifted to Wilco188. Amazing stuff. Thank you for the support, Alexander. Hope you enjoy our flight today. Right, nose wheel steering is disconnected. Start the timer. Engine mode selection to ignition. Paranoid check APU bleed is on. Starting engine 1. Hey, Antrak, good to see you. That overcast cloud looks really nice. It's not often you see a pure blanket layer of cloud. That's going to look gorgeous, isn't it, when we actually depart and climb above that.
Cabin crew, set doors to automatic and cross-check.
Christian, any reason for the Brazil special? I fancy doing something different. Alexander, did we time you? I don't think so, Alexander. Not quite sure what that's all about.
Please set parking brakes.
And parking brake set. Hey, Tracy.
Unlocking gear.
So just monitoring engine 1. Engine 1 stable, starting engine 2. Best have the terrain radar on, hadn't we, for this this flight, considering we don't know what we might be flying into. And we've got low level cloud as well.
Hi there, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the crew, I ask that you please direct your attention to the monitors as we review the emergency procedures on board the aircraft. Please listen carefully to ensure not only your own safety, but that of those around you. There are 3 emergency exits on the aircraft. Take a moment to locate the one closest to you, and note that it may be behind you.
Left is
Count the number of
right
rows
is
to the exit. Should the cabin experience pressure loss, stay calm and listen for instructions from the cabin crew. Oxygen masks will drop down from above your seat.
Tug
Place
out
the
the
mask over
way.
your mouth and nose like this, and pull the strap to tighten
Where's
it.
the marshalling
If you are
on?
traveling with
Don't want to
children,
run them
make
over.
sure you put your own mask on first before helping others. In the unlikely event of an emergency,
Alexander, I don't think I have
evacuation,
seen that,
please do carry on
that
luggage and
message.
items behind. Life rafts are located below your seats, and emergency lighting in the floor will lead you to the closest exit. We ask that you make sure that all carry-on luggage is stowed
Andy,
away
this is
safely during the
Freeware.
flight.
Both Freeware airports
While
we're
we wait for
departing
takeoff,
from and
please
arriving
take a
into
moment
today.
to review the safety
Right, there we
procedures
go,
on the card
engine
in the
2.
pocket in front of you.
So
Thank
engine
you
1
very
selected
much
to
for your
normal.
time.
There goes
We
the
hope you have a
marshaller.
safe
He's going to be
and
out my
enjoyable
way.
flight with us.
If you bleed can come off, APU can come off, anti-ice is not required. On the spoilers, rudder 0, flaps 1. Set the trim. And the after-start checklist. So anti-ice off, ECAM status is checked, should just have the pack 2 on there, there we go. Pitch trim is 29.5 and rudder is neutral. Short taxi, so we'll do the flight control check here. Full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral, rudder, full right, full left, and neutral. And Sao Paulo traffic, TAM 3598 taxiing now via Hotel Bravo, holding Golf for runway 10 left. Tino, the add-on for the crew is self-loading cargo. 397LM, best approach in Brazil is Santa. Yeah, I did think about doing it, and then I thought, you know what, everyone does that. Let's do something different. Let's show off as well a great freeware airport scenery as a bit of support to them. So that's why I opted for the route that we're doing today. Right, let's go. Side stick, cancel that master caution, disregard the ECAM. Right, quick check on our taxi. It should be straightforward. Oh, it is literally straightforward. And then right on Bravo. Shame we couldn't depart by a hotel. We didn't have the performance figures there, but hotel would have worked quite nicely. I wouldn't have even had to steer the aircraft then. Right, so no change to our performance, no LMCs, flex departure today, full length runway departure. Engine out for Easyjet is non-standard, so straight out with the turn 5 miles, and then we can accelerate away once passing 4,000 feet, and then the second flight plan's got our hold all planned, where we will hold at 6,000 feet, which is safely above MSA. Departure is straight out with a turn to the left, passing 2,900 feet, and our initial climb is flight level 100. Fruitbat will ever fix the error. It's kind of like a signature now, isn't it? It'd be wrong to fix it. Taxi checklist, flight controls have been checked. Flap setting, config 1, FMA, climbing up blue, 1 FD2, 10,000 blue. Radar and predictive wind shear are on. ECAM memo, waiting for my cabin crew.
Coordenação Marte,
Cabin crew,
Águia
seats for takeoff.
05, pronto para a decolagem, ocorrência do médico, setor sul. A linha decola sentido no 2 de ponto, informação do livrar, transfer de coordenação helicópteros após passar portuguesa Águia 05.
Looks like a little bit of a hill here, so we'll just give the engines a bit of juice. Right turn here. But yeah, this scenery looks very, very nice. When I was looking around, there was actually quite a lot of great looking scenery here in Brazil, freeware. Julie Charlie Mike translating for us, someone else is taking off. Good, because I can't speak Spanish or Portuguese or Brazilian, whatever. Come on, cabin crew, hurry it up.
E o Águia 5 livra a Marte, próximo ao Portuguesa, proa direta, Grupo Zulu, setor sul. Vai adentrar o CTR
Hold about
Congonhas,
Golf.
próximo ao Pacaembu, transfere para a coordenação Águia 05.
So just hold there. The cabin crew ready yet? Yes, there we go. So just continuing the taxi checklist. ECAM member, take control blue, AFB stowed and disconnected. Sao Paulo traffic, TAM 3598, departing runway 10 left, UCBEV 1 Delta departure. Okay, so lights are on, TCAS and PAX. Nice to see as well that all of the markings, etc. So this is Golf.
Águia 05, detonando o CTR São Paulo
All correct.
pelo Pacaembu, setor norte, vai cruzar o eixo da pista no 7 Congonhas para o setor sul. Nenhum tráfego de pouso e decolagem até o momento, informa quando livrar o eixo e afastamento do CTR São Paulo.
Approach path is clear. And the lineup checklist. So cabin is secured. Takeoff runway is full length 10 left. TCAS TRA packs are off.
Support traffic, TAM 3529, taxi runway 10 left via Hotel Umbrella.
So this is showing at 9 left. It just obviously needs a bit of a scenery update. But anyway, so takeoff. Let's go. %, stable, set takeoff thrust. Manflex S under S, runway auto thrust blue. Takeoff thrust is set. Our primary flight display looks a little bit bright. 100 knots.
Águia 05, livrou já o eixo da pista Congonhas vertical do Jockey Club e afasta o CRCR São Paulo pelo setor sul. ETA pelo setor oeste,
Rotate.
para o setor sul, Águia 05 mantém 3.200 pés.
And we've got positive climb, gear up. 2,900, left turn. Autopilot 1 engaged. We might get wet in a minute. So, thrust climb, auto thrust. Shame we're going to lose sight of the ground shortly because of the weather. Would have been nice to see Brazilian scenery for a change. Hey Alphanese, good to see you. Speed, flaps 0, spoilers disarmed.
Support traffic, 3529, departure runway turn on left.
Looks like the cloud layer's not too thick, blue sky at the top of the screen. Okay, we're about to pass that little constraint that we did have, which is fine now, so set flight level 250, and we'll go up and climb. That's open climb 250 blue. Cabin crew is released. Tina, did you turn the packs on when stationary or after takeoff? After thrust reduction altitude.
Good afternoon once again. You may now use your electronic devices. Just a reminder to make sure that you keep your seatbelt fastened until the sign is turned off by the captain, at which point you will be allowed to move around the cabin. In a few minutes we will be starting one of our in-flight movies.
Okay, so spoilers, flaps, gear, lights will come off.
You can plug them into the armrest inside of you. Choose channel 6 on the in-flight entertainment system. Thank you. Just to let you know, we will be starting our in-flight drink service in a few moments. If you could please clear all aisles and ensure that any bags are placed in the overhead lockers.
10,000 feet coming up.
Thank you. Don't forget that if you need assistance for any reason, just press the button.
So airport's on the EFIS.
And with that, I'll take the opportunity once again to wish you a pleasant
Cost index
flight,
of 0. Radna page, you had nothing to clear out. Second flight plan, copy active. And we're on our way. Wonderful. Max, it's called self-loading cargo, the cabin crew. Tino, how do you know which trim value to set? Oh, that's easy. That's on your load sheet. So there, the MAC takeoff weight, so basically the takeoff weight centre of gravity is 29.5%. So that's what we set down here. I can't actually move it now because we're auto trimming, but if you rewind the stream, you'd see me set that as is. Captain Q, is the Flight Life Studio thing bust again? Oh yeah, we're going 0 knots. The altitude seems to be semi-accurate. I'll give it a kick in a moment. Well, I think seatbelt signs can come off then, can't they? Oh, that looks beautiful.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign, so you are now free to move around the cabin. However, for your safety, we do recommend that you remain seated with your belt fastened at all times during the flight. Thank you.
Tina, are you planning on going on VATSIM this weekend? It's making you nervous. Well, the first time you go on VATSIM, you will always be nervous. I think even if you were a seasoned pilot, you know, even in real life, that the first time of doing it is it's something different. Suddenly, you're not on your own anymore. You're on a network with, you know, thousands of other pilots and air traffic controllers. But make sure you know how to fly your aircraft. So things like setting up the trim, stuff like that. Make sure you can fly your aircraft absolutely perfectly, because the last thing you want is to get flustered by an air traffic control instruction. You're not entirely sure what to do. So conquering the aircraft is step one. After that, conquer VATSIM. Hey Lars, is FSTraffic a new release? I think it's been out for a while now, isn't it? BM Lock, what do the packs mean? It's basically the pressurization and the air conditioning system. Alright, Captain Q, the Flight Life Studio should hopefully have some information on there for you. And 397LM, we're overflying the Atlantic Forest. Is that right? Is that what they call it? Mind you, it does look... It looks very thick down there. Do you know what is amazing? And I couldn't get my head around this when Microsoft Flight Simulator was first announced. So all of these trees that you can see down there, you used to see something looking very similar in FSX and X-Plane, etc. But all of those trees, if I decided to sort of jump out now with the showcase camera, drone camera, I could go and I could land on an individual tree. It's just amazing. It does make you wonder what Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 has installed. I'm glad those overcast clouds have now cleared, because that looks yeah, that looks really nice. As we are climbing then, the cloud bot is now open for those of you wanting to purchase in-flight snacks, meals, and gamble your lives away. Look at this livery as well. It's got the registration on the wing. If that's something that LATAM obviously do in real life. I guess you're not looking forward to it. It means getting a new graphics card. Well, I found when Microsoft Flight Simulator came out, Microsoft Flight Simulator ran better on the PC that I had at the time. It ran better on that PC than FSX ran, which is crazy when you think about it. Landscape looks totally different, doesn't it? That's what I love about flying somewhere different. It looks like nothing that you're normally used to. So just checking our arrival time at the moment, should be just before 1600 hours UTC, of course. Alright, so again, if we just go and check our progress page, file 340 is also the optimum, which is going to be fine for us today, so let's continue that climb, and we'll set 340 blue. Wonderful. Captain Prower, FSX was rather unoptimized, I shall indeed give you that. Cornwolf, good afternoon. Waving about just a little bit there, you can see the glare shield cam is just scooting a little bit from side to side, which is nice. It's better than just flying on rails. Nobody likes to fly on rails. Now the interesting thing for me here is, you know, if we sort of had an emergency, I have no idea of any of the local knowledge of where we would actually fly to, you know, where we would dip into. What airports can we actually utilise here? Anna says you're super excited for the BMDG 777 and Emirates Ops. Wonder how long it'll be before that comes out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to start one of our in-flight movies. If you'd like to watch, please plug in your headphones and select channel 18 from your armrest remote. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the film.
Lovely. Well, if you're enjoying the Friday afternoon flight so far, please do me a little favour and hit that like button. Captain Q, what are my thoughts on SimFly? Yeah, I've seen this knocking about. I'll be honest, I've only had a very quick look sort of around the website and things. I'll be honest, it confused me. I mean, that doesn't take much. But I just... it wasn't for me. But it might be for some of you. The tagline that you can sort of earn money while flying virtually and things, I just thought that's two boundaries that I'm not sure I want to cross. Zandy says hello from Brazil. Hello indeed. Hope you are well. Hope the weather's nice where you are. We've got nice cloudless skies now. We had overcast skies in Sao Paulo, but we left that behind around 10 minutes ago. And of course the other beauty of Microsoft Flight Simulator is overflying parts of the world such as this no longer just look rubbish on the ground. The ground textures are not just bare barren tones, they are still good satellite imagery, so it's interesting and realistic to look at. So we'll get to our top of climb. We shall do our fuel checks, and we'll start looking at the approach and try and get ourselves familiar with the area of Brasilia. Also have a look at some en route weathers as well. So, whilst watching this then, guys, what are you all doing? How many people are sat at home working? Lima Mike says, oh, we've got some ICO codes of some alternate airports along the way. That's good to know. Otherwise, I would literally have to be diving into the charts of each and every one to see if they could actually accommodate us. That's where local knowledge comes into its own there. Flyboy John is working. Julie Charlie Mike also working from home. Hey Kevin, I'm very well, thank you. What are you up to this fine Friday afternoon? Andy says it's raining there in Toronto. It reminds him of England growing up. Yeah, it's always raining. BM Lock, you're fine. No school for 2 days. Excellent. Pep and Polly, am I still using... Yes, I'm still using DX11. I won't move to DX12. Not yet. Not yet. Not sure how my PC would handle that, to be fair. Lee JC is also working. Tracy's on garden leave, has been made redundant. Oh, Tracy, I hope that's sitting okay with you. If it's voluntary redundancy, I'm sure it's absolutely fine. Kostas, what do I think about Beyond ATC? I will let you know when that comes out. Kevin said Mr. Dog had other plans for you, otherwise you were going to fly along. But never mind. First officers do that. Steve's got a day off and Leanna's actually working, as opposed to pretending to work, Leanna. Bacchus 173 does strange things to his sim. Yeah, it does strange things to mine as well, which is why I'm quite happy not to utilise it. Marco says, fun fact that the Brasilia city is shaped like an airplane. Try to spot it on arrival. It's easy to see at night though. Oh, fair enough. That's weird. I'm presuming that's happened completely by accident. No one actually designs and builds a city because it looks like an airplane, surely. Captain Q, I've not looked into Simbit World either. I'll be honest, I try not to look into too many things like that because I like the freedom to sort of do what I do and fly in places that I choose to fly. And it also means that if there's something someone might suggest or want to see, then I can do that without sort of being limited to anything else. Dennis Walken cause high and idle on one engine. Just on one engine? Well... I mean, if you've got, I suppose anti-ison requires a sort of higher engine idle, but we haven't done just the one engine. In real life, of course, most engines on aircraft aren't always exactly the same age. One's probably got more hours on it than the other, so that can obviously affect different parameters. It's also one of the reasons why when taking off, you set a 50% thrust before sort of pushing it forward to set takeoff thrust. Make sure they're both working kind of at the same rate. Hey, Dwal! Didn't realise this was upcoming, so you're late to the show. Don't worry, Dwal. You join us when we're in good stead at the minute. Tracy says, "Oh, can't." Oh, fair enough. Looking for another job. Well, Tracy, hopefully you can look for another job from 34,000 feet with us, if that helps. Marcus says it was actually designed to look like an aeroplane. It was done on purpose. Really? That's so weird. What a strange thing to do. Wonder why. Andy, is the top status bar still not working? What's wrong with it? Isn't it? I thought it was giving everything you... It looked like it was giving everything correct to me. Bill, do you have a tutorial on how to set up the go-around procedure into the flight plan? You shouldn't need to, BMLOC, because it's done automatically. So if you fly in the Phoenix aircraft, which is obviously the closest A320 to the real world that we have here, then if you scroll through, once you've landed, why have we got a discontinuity there? I'll have to check that in a moment. Yeah, this is your go-around procedure, and it's already there. It's there for you, so you don't have to enter that in. Tracy, you've got an NA on everything as well. Oh, how frustrating! Let me see. Oh, I know why. Hang on. Let me try something. Let me try something. How's that? Is that working? I think I got it linked to the wrong overlay. Kevin says it looks like the lyrics to Hey Jude. That's Mac Alt Star. BM look, the fly-by-wire aircraft won't do that because the fly-by-wire aircraft... This is... When people ask which do I think is better, the fly-by-wire or the Phoenix aircraft, well, this is what I mean by the Phoenix is just more completed and more of the systems are working. So, little things like that. They're not major things, but... Well, they can be major things if suddenly you need to do a go-around in a busy airport on VATSIM. You don't want to have to manually fly it. So, yeah, that's the fly-by-wire aircraft can't do that just yet. Right, so there we go. That's Macol Cruise. Turn that to below. Progress page. We want that cost index to go back up to 4. Are you going to work? Yeah, there we go. Lovely. Let's scoot through our SD pages. Make sure we haven't broken anything. Well, the aircraft hasn't broken anything. That looks all fine. Minus 41 degrees, yeah, that's all fine as well. Fuel, yeah, that's alright. Just checking the balance there, it's only a couple hundred kilograms, that's fine. No fuel leaks, APU, that's fine, temperature looks good. Wheel temperatures, brakes, etc. they're fine. All systems working. Left side stick, disregard that. And nothing flagging on the overhead. Wonderful. Yeah, I was right about the headwind, wasn't it? It's not a true headwind, obviously, but certainly going to slow us down. Right, what's that? That looks like an aircraft encroaching in my airspace. Very, very close. About 5 miles, maybe a tad more. Well, we've leveled off at 3-4 and he's continuing the climb, so as long as he continues the climb and doesn't get in my way, that's fine. Terry, self-loading cargo for the cabin crew sounds. BM Lock, so when you're flying on VATSIM, if you have to do a go-around, you have to fly it manually, using the charts. Now, when I say manually, of course, you can still have the autopilot on, but you will have to select the heading as to where you want to go, etc. So, for instance, I don't know, let's have a quick look at the go-around procedure for an arrival airport. So, what is this? So, this is climb 6,000 feet, heading 180, so basically that's runway track, until we get to 4,000 feet. After that, turn left to Edviv and enter the hold. So, if I was flying this in a fly-by-wire aircraft, in my mind, basically, it's 6,000 feet at the go-around altitude, which we would still have to set here, even in the Phoenix aircraft, we'd have to set that. So we do that, and then once we passed 4,000 feet, I would be making a left turn. Now, there's a little bit of help there. Looks like the Edvik waypoint is sort of on a track of 061, as you can see there. But what I would actually do is before we even got there, and the flight plan page, I would add that waypoint, EDVX. Oh no, EDVIV. Spell it correctly. I would actually add that waypoint onto my navigation display. So now if I now go through, hang on, turn the plan. If I now go through the flight, I should see. Yeah, you can see it's there twice. You can just see how it's overlaid twice. Well, in the fly-by-wire aircraft, it wouldn't be overlaid twice because the go-around procedure, which is this blue track here, wouldn't be there. But I would be able to see that waypoint there. So all I would do is I would point my aircraft at that waypoint. And then what you can do in the fly-by-wire aircraft is you can put a direct in. So you could type in direct EDVIV, type that in there and activate. And then you could enter a hold there, which is essentially what the go-around procedure is, according to the charts here. So there are ways and means of doing it, but obviously all I would have to do in this aircraft is I'd go toga power, I'd make sure we were in nav mode, I'd pop the autopilot on, and the aircraft would just fly the go-around track all on its own, which is lovely. Hey Elliot, quick hello from you. You're deep in work and music stuff. Well, that sounds like fun, Elliot. Assuming you enjoy it, that is, of course. Which I'm sure you do. Right, what is going on with this discontinuity? Let's have a look at the arrival route and make sure it's all looking fine. So... yeah, I'm not quite sure why we've got a discontinuity there. Let's clear that up. There we are. And then the arrival looks pretty straightforward. Terry Miller, the cabin crew comes from an add-on called self-loading cargo. Self-loading cargo. Yeah, that arrival looks beautiful. Straight in, no messing about. Hey Captain Q, you'd like to fly someday from, I don't know where either of those are, but fair enough. Sounds like another Brazilian special. Diguli Goo says, glad we are here in Brazil. It's nice to be here, nice to fly somewhere different. Right, let's do a fuel check at Bixam, which is where we're just about to overfly. Hang on. My iPad's just having a moment. Okay. Yeah, so we're coming in at Bixen. What fuel did we take? So, I'm presuming now, because many of you have watched this watched the channel for so long now, you'll know pretty much exactly how to work out and do your fuel check. But if I just quickly take you through this, because we've got a bit of time on this flight. So right at the top of the screen then, the planned block fuel, or plug fuel, was around 7.7 tons. Yeah, 7,700 tons. We loaded 8 tons, so we took 300 kilograms extra. So you want to take that 300 kilograms, add to it the contingency, which is around 200 kilograms, 227 there. 300 plus 200, obviously 500 kilograms. 500 kilograms is half a ton. And then we want to find Bixen, which is where we have just overflown. And the fuel that we would expect to have in the tanks there is right over there on the right hand side, 5,220, 5.2. I'll add half a ton to that, that becomes 5.7. And if we have a look at the fuel as we've just passed it, we've actually got over 5.9, so we've got about maybe 300 kilograms of fuel extra than we expected, which is fine and not completely unexpected, because the Phoenix aircraft doesn't burn fuel quite as realistically as the real world aircraft. It burns it less than the real world aircraft. Gregor says the standby primary flight display looks okay. Standby primary flight display, the this little thing down here. Have I got the VORs turned on? I do indeed, yeah. Barry, I've never used PackX, so I'm afraid I can't comment on that. Andy, Canada Ops one day? Maybe, Andy. We've done Canada in the past. I'm almost certain we've done Canada in the past. Tell you what, that almost looks like Great Britain. Random shaped fields everywhere. Pepper Bully, how is the mini cockpit going? Have you found any issues with it since using it for a while? No, I'm using it now. It's absolutely spot on. Remember, if you haven't bought the mini FCU unit yet and you are going to buy it, don't buy it without using the discount code Easyjet SimPilot, because that will get you 10% off. Make it a little bit cheaper for you as well. So yeah, mini FCU discount code Easyjet SimPilot. Just type that in to get that money off. Pedro says Sao Paulo to Rio de Janeiro is a flight which would have a beautiful view of the Brazilian coast. Definitely recommend doing it. I did think about going into Rio de Janeiro, Pedro, but as I said earlier, I think a lot of streamers and people fly into Rio, and I wanted to do something a bit different and show off some great freeware scenery airport as well on this flight today, which is well, essentially what we're doing. Oh, Mr. Ding, Master Caution, cancel that. There we go. Beckers, how long is the code valid for? Indefinitely, until they run out of units. So I'm just having a look now. I'm just having a look how many units they've got left. Let's have a look. Oh, they must have sold out. Right, they've sold out. I didn't know that. They have sold out of their second batch of units. Right, well, okay then. That is that. I'm not sure when the next batch will be available. Oh no, they haven't. No, they haven't. Estimated delivery starting from mid-March. Target to finish by April 24. Oh yeah, so there you go. There's 650 left in stock. 650 left in stock, so you can buy it now and use that discount code Easyjet SimPilot. It will still work for you, so that's fine. Hey, Killer Nick, hope you're doing well. Yeah, so Bacchus, you could use that code now and get money off it. Gorgeous view of our LATAM A320 today. Loving the buzzsaw of those engines. Colin Evans, good afternoon. Glorious. Captain Q, no updates as of yet, I'm afraid. So let's have a look at what we can expect with regards to our arrival then. So platform altitude is 6,200. Oh, a 3.04 glide slope. Alright, well, that's pretty much a normal 3-degree glide slope, isn't it? Elevation is 3,448. So again, in the back of our mind, make sure we know that that is the elevation of our airfield. And so from sort of our descent planning point of view, when you're thinking about the 30 track miles to run, you want to be 10,000 feet above the airport. With 30 miles to run, we should expect to see about 14,000 feet. So that's coming in, that's pretty straightforward. Go around altitude, we've already mentioned that, is 6,000 feet. ILS identified it into Bravo Romeo. That's fine. Go around is straight out to the left. And runway visual range needs to be, yeah, well, we're more than happy with that. So 800 meters, because we've got the flight directors, autopilot, etc. Altitude for the minimum descent is 3,712, which again, just because of being high up, seems very high, doesn't it? Now, I don't know anything about this airport. Let's have a little look at it. So we're planning 11 right, so rapid exit taxiway Echo Echo to the apron. That's fine. There's a military apron over there. A little hot spot as we roll off. Can we take Romeo? It just looks a little bit narrow on that, doesn't it? Do we think? We'll have a look at some more charts in a second. So any minimums information. There we go. So 1 right. Pappy is 3-degree angle, 45 meters width. That's fine. Parking spots, Romeo. There's nothing on that chart that says that there's a restriction to Romeo. So I think that's our taxi in. Pretty straightforward then, isn't it? Off at Echo Echo and stick to the left of that. I'm going to call it a roundabout just because I'm from the UK. Stick to the left hand side of that roundabout and then Romeo onto the apron. I think that will work perfectly well. Yeah, so it looks pretty straightforward. Nothing, hopefully, nothing really too much to worry about there. We'll be on the ground in less than an hour, I think. Should be landing with 4.3 tons of fuel on board as well. So we've already been through and checked the coding. All of that looks fine. Just have a look at the speeds of this compared to the flight route. So if we need to sort of tinker with that, just to keep us happy. Over on there. 220. Yeah, that all looks fine. So happy with the speed. Hello.
Sorry for the intrusion. I was just wondering if you'd like a drink.
Oh, I'd love a cup of tea, please.
Of course. I'll go and get it for you now. Just give me a few minutes.
Awesome. Okay, so happy with that. No rad navs that we're going to fill in a progress page. Let's just pop in the information we need on there. So that's Sarah Bravo Romeo, runway 1 right. And just for our clear that, we don't need that in there. Sarah Bravo Romeo again, Romeo 1 right. So there we go. Now what radius do I want from that threshold? So we can do a 9-mile radius from that, I think. Actually, it's not quite as easy, is it, when we've got to do some maths. So 3, 4, yeah, so I think that will work. Basically 6,500 feet at 9 miles. That's what's sort of in my mind. Just scribbling that down in the piece of paper in front of me so I don't forget. Hello?
Hi, Captain. I've made your drinks. They're waiting for you in the galley area.
Lovely, thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, so we're about 6,500 feet when I intersect that radius, then we should be nicely on profile. So that's done. Performance page. Yeah, let's get the weather then and pop that in. In order to do that, I'm going to have to use the Phoenix app. Right, so what have we got? Oh, wind shear reported 29 left. Which runways are they currently using? Winds 200 at 4. I'm just going to look on Flight Radar 24 for this. See if we can see what's going on. Because we're planning 11 right. They were using 11 right an hour or so ago when I was planning the flight. Oh, that's fine. They are still using those runways. Yeah, so we're going to be landing on this runway here, vacating there. We'll not take a left there. Then we'll carry straight on and cross the road. Excellent. Look forward to that. And then we'll just park somewhere around here, I guess. Nice. Okay, that's fine. God, I love Flight Radar 24 for stuff like that. Backis says you were watching a documentary about how the US are now starting to embrace roundabouts as a way to ease traffic. Do they ease traffic? They might do eventually. Do you know what I hate? I hate mini roundabouts. Whoever invented those needs something uncomfortable. Hey, Sean Duff. Good to see you, Sean. Captain HMW, hello. Right. What weather have we got here? That looks interesting. So wind is 200 at 4. Varying 150240. Visibility is fine. We've got broken 2,500 feet. Broken 4,000 feet. Broken 6,000 feet. Oh, that's a lot of cloud layers to come to terms with. 26 degrees. QNH is 1016. And we've got wind shear reported 29 left. Let's fill in the box with all those details in when we have them. 26 degrees, how nice. That's about my limit, that. That's the sort of temperature I can get on board with. Transition altitude 7,000 feet, yeah, that's fine. And I'd like to config 3 landing if we can. We'll check that in a moment. Okay, so let's do the landing performance. Landing weight. Ooh, let's check that. What's that going to be? 64.5 tons. Yep, so that's fine. Landing distance available is less than landing distance, is more than the landing distance required. So reverse idle will be used, and actual figures we've got is that auto brake low, flaps 3 landing, and dry runway. Wonderful. The thing with roundabouts, particularly mini roundabouts, is when 3 cars all arrive at the same time. A roundabout with 3 exit entry points, and 3 cars all around at the same time and stop there. Who's going first? Someone's got to make the first move, and chances are both of you decide it's going to be you at the same time and hit each other. So yeah, I don't think mini roundabouts are particularly a clever idea. Loving the crop circles down there. Particularly that one. That one looks grand. That's like a slice of pizza. That's like 2 slices of pizza left over in the box. That's awesome. Some great shades of colours than that over here. Andy, how do you get the charts on the iPad? It's just the Navigraph app on my iPad. Andy says mini roundabouts have started to show up in Canada. No one knows how to use them, so it's a nightmare. Well, my wife and I are seriously considering taking the kids abroad this year to France, but actually driving there, I'll be honest with you, the thought of driving on the wrong side of the road, until I've got used to it, absolutely petrifies me, because I know I'm going to default to the wrong side of the road, or at a junction end up on the wrong side of the road. It just stands to reason. What's that down there? That looks a bit random, doesn't it? So our top of descent for coming in is in, about 10 minutes. No, it isn't. 20 minutes. 20 minutes. It's going to be interesting to see if Microsoft Flight Simulator represents those 3 layers that I've just read out in the meta. Bakia says you lived in Greece for a year and accidentally drove on the right hand side when you got home. Simac, I have got the GTX 3060. GTX? RTX 3060? I have no idea. Oh, I think I just managed to mute the microphone before sneezing into it. It is the 3060. There you go, the RTX 3060. Thank you, Sean, for calling up the Nightbot. Andy says he knows the feeling when coming back to the UK for a visit. He rents a car, nothing like coming off a long haul straight into driving on the wrong side of the road into an oncoming vehicle. Terry, am I using Rex Weather and AccuSeasons? Not Rex Weather, but I do use Rex AccuSeasons. Yes, I do. I find Rex AccuSeasons as one of my must-haves. Definitely one of the must-haves. The fact that it affects the entire world is great. Is that an airport down there? Oh yeah. Not sure I'd get a 320 on it, but it's an airstrip. Captain Power says, in his experience, us Americans are too stupid to understand roundabouts. Seems like more wrecks happen there than most other types of intersections. I can't comment, Captain Power. I know nothing of the traffic statistics in the USA, but I'll take your word for it. Simon, you can of course use my graphic settings. There is a video on the channel explaining what my graphic settings currently are if you want to check that out and try and mimic it. An Italian Yankee fan says he can concur. Someone who lives in New Jersey. People cannot navigate traffic circles. I mean, to be fair to Americans, you've grown up for decades and decades and decades, since automobiles were a thing, of all your roads are just straight. There is something to be said for driving in places like Manhattan and, you know, the big major cities where everything is just a straight line, north to south, east to west. I kind of like that. I like that symmetry, that organisation. Whereas, if you ever get the chance to come and attempt to drive into Sheffield here in the UK, then God be with you in your quest. You honestly don't stand a chance. You know, I grew up here. I still hate driving in Sheffield. And I've spent almost 40 years there. And I don't think Sheffield's the worst city in the country for it either. What I really used to hate about driving in Sheffield is they used to just change things. Like, you'd go one week and you'd be fine. The following week, the road you were planning on going down had suddenly been turned into a one-way and you couldn't go that way anymore. Captain Power, all our roads are straight lines, that's why our sports cars suck at corners. Back yes, I am nothing if not diplomatic. With a wife and 4 children, you learn very quickly. Carl B used to dread walking up Conduit Road in the winter in Sheffield. Which one was that, Carl? I've never heard of that road. Conduit Road? I don't know where that is. Give me a landmark and I'll know where you mean, mate. Sean says it's worse now in Scotland for all their new towns. East Kilbride, just outside of Glasgow, is known as the Polo Mint, as it is because of all the roundabouts. That is a brilliant nickname for a city. Captain Power, I've seen enough of English roads to say with confidence. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Andy says London is pretty terrible as well for roads. To be fair, Andy, if you lived in London, you would never have a car. I certainly wouldn't. I'd never have a car if I lived in London. You've got the tube, you've got the bus. Hell, you can walk, get a bike. In fact, no, I wouldn't bike in London. That's too dangerous as well. I've seen too many dash cam footages of that. Steve says East Midlands Airport has sign on the airport exit roads in 3 languages saying drive on the left. Irfan, are we on VATSIM? Yes, we are. Carby is Crooks near Northumberland Avenue. Yo, okay, Carl, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah. I mean, everywhere around there is just hilly, isn't it? Julie Charlie Mike, someone said that earlier, that the arrival city, Brasilia, is basically, it's designed to look like an aircraft. Very strange. Right, should we brief? So, let's start with our weather, get that on screen, there you go. So, here's what we can expect expect, we have got a 4-knot crosswind, a bang-on 4-knot crosswind, 204, varying 150 to 240. So yeah, it's basically wind from the right as we're coming into land. Visibility is fine. We've got broken clouds at 2,500, broken clouds 4,000, broken 6,000, 26 degrees, QNH 1016. Wind shear has been reported, not on the runway we're landing on, but it's probably worth just keeping that in our mind that, you know, it could happen on our landing as well, so let's be prepared for it so we're not taken by surprise should it occur. Aircraft is behaving itself, all fully functional still, no NOTAMs for arrival. Threats to be aware of are the unfamiliarity with the airport. For me personally, the high altitude, I just don't want to sort of get out of context of where we are with our situational awareness. That wind shear I've just mentioned as well, and let's also just have a look at the surrounding area. We do have terrain beneath us as we come in on the ILS. Once we pass that and we're near the airport, the train will be behind us to the west of the airport. So little things to just to bear in mind. MSA then, as we're coming in, is 6,000 feet. We're coming in via VUCEP, I believe it is. So once we get to our top of descent, we're going to get down to flight level 100. That's just the mass caution. Again, we'll just cancel that, disregard. So that's fine. Yeah, so once we get to top of descent, we'll get down flight level 100 by Brasilia 153. Some speed constraints there. If there's no air traffic control and there's no traffic in our way, then we can probably disregard that, but my plan will be to fly the approach as is, and then green dot by Lovla. As we leave Lovla, then we will get down to 6,500 feet. Flaps 1, pick up the glide slope. Flaps 2 with the glide slope. It's a normal 3-degree ILS approach, nothing out of the ordinary there. 45 meters wide, so runway width is all pretty normal. We're clear to, we're legal to start this approach because visibility is well above the minimums. While my alarm's going off, yeah, the go around, which we've mentioned as well, is 6,000 feet. Once we pass 4,000 feet, we turn left direct to Edvix, where we take up the hold. After we have landed, vacate Echo Echo straight onto Kilo, and then we'll park somewhere sensible. Okay, I think that covers most things. Let's go through the box and just confirm everything we've briefed. So the flight plan is all in and confirmed. Coding's fine. RadNav page, we've not got anything set in there. Progress page is all fine. Cost index of 4. Yeah. What have I missed here? Oh, the winds. I've not put the winds in. 204, which is why it's asking me for a bit more information. There we go. So landing config 3 today, VAP speed of 145, and we're landing with auto brake low. So there's a potential for a bit of single engine taxiing if we get that far. And just double check what fuel we've got. We've got 5 tons, so we're plenty. We're absolutely fine. Wonderful. Lima Mike says it's starting to rain there as well. Oh, okay. We'll see what it's like when we get there. Bacchus, gotta go. Kids have turned up. That's a shame when that happens. See you later, Bacchus. David, this is the Phoenix aircraft. Phoenix Airbus A320 with our top of descent in about 7 or 8 minutes. Do you know, I've just gone really hungry. I need a snack. Wish this button worked. Ladies and gentlemen, hello once again from the flight deck. So we are currently cruising at 34,000 feet and we're nicely on time for you as well. The approach weather into Brasilia looks pretty good, a little bit cloudy overall but nice and warm at 26 degrees. We're going to be starting our descent in around 10 minutes time, after which the cabin crew will start preparing the aircraft for our arrival, so if you can give them any help you can, and we will speak to you a little bit later on. Thank you. It's a nice 3.3 kilometre runway as well, so a nice long runway. You tend to find that any airports which have got sort of higher than sort of normal elevation, they have the longer runways because the aircraft performance needs it. Not as much air higher up, obviously. Hey Cube, good evening. And Christian Stammer, happy Friday to you, sir. Cube suddenly shocked because he's realised he's a member. Cube, I believe you were gifted membership last time we were here. If you haven't done so already, guys, please do hit the like button on the stream. It's a great free little way to really help support the channel. So thank you everyone that's done that for me already. David, what would be my advice to a recently qualified ATPL pilot? It depends what you want to do, I guess, David. There are loads of... there seems to be a lot of airlines now recruiting, because they're all realising they're short of pilots. So I think, you know, you might be in a good place. I guess it also depends whereabouts in the world you are as well, David. And where you want to fly. Terry, we're using Microsoft Flight Simulator's live weather. We are, Terry. I always do, Terry. Rarely do I use anything else. I do have Rex weather installed, but I never need to use it. See, the clouds are starting to get a little bit thicker now as we head towards Brasilia. Am I right in thinking Brasilia is the capital of Brazil? Or have I made that up? Hello?
Hi, Captain. I was wondering if you'd like anything to eat. Anything from the menu, or maybe a snack.
No, we're going to be starting our descent shortly, so best wait till we're on the ground, thanks.
No problem. Do give me a call if you change your mind, though.
Oh, well, David, you sound like you're in a decent position. I tell you what, I keep seeing as I scroll through Facebook of an evening. I keep seeing so often airlines now advertising for first officers, type rated, or even just just general job adverts for airlines with requiring pilots and that. So I'm guessing that type ratings and things, what you want to do, where you want to fly, what you want to fly. 658T says, would love to be a pilot, but sadly got by Paulo. Oh, and you're 52. Well, you know what, the age thing now, I don't think the age thing makes much difference anymore. Obviously, you've got to think, you're not going to have many years flying. If you were sort of had the ability to be trained, become a pilot now, then I think there's lots of places where the latest you can fly to is 55. I might have made that up, but I think 55 is where your commercial license starts to commercial career starts to end. But yeah, I know lots of people now start in their 40s, 30s. It's not something they do straight out of school and college anymore. Which is great, absolutely great. Oh wow, 397 Lima Mike. Mate, thank you so much. That is incredible support for the channel. Gifting 10 Easyjet in Pilot channel memberships. So welcome to all our new channel members, courtesy of Lima Mike. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. That is very, very generous. And a great show of support for the stream this Friday afternoon. Right, we're at our top of descent, so there we go. Descent 100 blue, and we're on our way down. David, you'll have to let us know how you get on in your quest. Uh, 658, the police pension trap now. 8 more years left for retirement. Fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed. Make sure they don't push it up any further. Right, we're going to pull speed and select 270. Keep us on track. Keep us on time. Cube, when you want to be an airline pilot, you first need to get a commercial pilot's license and then apply for a job, or can you apply for a job and train at the airline? Well, it used to be that you had to put yourself through your own training. It's kind of come full circle now. So ordinarily you applied to the airlines, got taken on as a cadet, and they trained you through everything, literally from the bottom up with no flying experience, and got you where they needed you, and off you went and worked for them for however many years and paid off your training with your salary. Then it got to the point where they didn't need to do that anymore because people wanted to be pilots and they got enough pilots. So if you wanted to be a pilot, you had to pay for it all yourself. People taking out massive bank loans, basically investing in themselves, getting the private pilot's license, the airline transportation pilot's license, commercial pilot's license, all that stuff, then applying to the airlines and sort of working off your debt and your own personal bank loan. Now, after COVID, after so many people were laid off and left the industry, they're now starting the cadet schemes again. So there is scope to be trained fully through them. Oh, David, that's great to hear. Glad you enjoy it, mate. Captain asks, how's the weather now in Manchester? I've no idea, Captain. I'm on the wrong side of the Pennines to let you know. Right, holding the profile nicely. Looking forward to this arrival. I like landing in new places. Never been to this airport before in my life, in real life or virtual sim life. Super fun. My lad keeps telling me he wants to be a pilot. He's got a good 10 years to go. Yeah, I'm just hoping that the world is in a state where airlines are still taking on cadets, because I don't fancy that bill coming through. Captain Power says there in the USA you basically have to be a pilot in the military before you can be a commercial pilot, because most of the airlines there hire ex-military pilots. I have heard that. I'm sure there are some exceptions to that, but I have heard that. Tracy says it's nice and sunny for a change there in Leeds. My lad came down in the middle of the night last night saying the wind was keeping him awake. Like, wind? What wind? Have we got another storm? It's just... But I could hear it, so clearly the wind doing something recently in the last couple of weeks. David, I'll try and push him more towards being a virtual pilot on YouTube. It's a lot easier and cheaper. Pepper Pilot says probably AI pilots by then. Well, I'll tell you what, when that day comes, if that day comes, that's the day I stop flying abroad. no way am I getting on a plane with no human at the control. Jean-Paul, this is the Phoenix aircraft, that's correct. Yeah. Old novice pilot says he missed the wind as well, but it woke up his cabin crew. Well, I hope the cabin crew brought you a drink. Steve says it's windy there in Gran Canaria as well. Usually is though, isn't it? Hey, Organ Aviator, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Right, exciting bits coming up then. Tony looked at Macrosim's Birmingham Airport, but half the jetways are collapsed. Really? I think we flew into... Didn't we fly into Birmingham not long ago? They looked absolutely fine to me. I'm not sure what that's about. Looks like a nice view though, that. Definitely be interesting to see this approach. Right, so with that, ladies and gentlemen, hello once again from the flight deck. You probably noticed we've started our descent into Brasilia, and we should be on the ground in approximately 20 to 25 minutes time. If you can start to make your way back to your seats, the seatbelt signs will be going on shortly as the cabin crew start to prepare the aircraft for our arrival, and give them your full attention and assistance wherever possible. I'm going to take this opportunity now. Thank you for flying with us, and we shall see you on the ground. Thank you. No problem, Morgan Aviator. See you next time. Andy Boyce also, I missed that, sorry mate, you're celebrating 5 months of channel membership. That is incredible. Thank you for your support, Andy. Wishing everyone a good weekend as well indeed. So the aircraft at the moment behaving exactly as we would expect it to. We've got a constraint of being below flight level 100 at 153, as we can confirm there on the charts. That's fine. There's a speed constraint as well, but we've got no traffic around, so we're going to free speed our way into this at the moment. Once we leave that, we are going to set 6,000 feet. As per the charts here, which actually, to be completely honest, we could do now. If I set 6,000 feet there on the FCU, that's strange. I've got 6.5 now there, 6,500 feet, which is interesting. What have we got in the box? So we need to be above 6,000 feet of level. Okay, that's alright, that works. That's fine. In which case though, we're obviously going to pull for local, push for local pressure, 1016, 6,500 magenta. And that's because we actually, if I move on to the next chart, it wasn't that clear there, but yeah, there you go, 6,500 at Mofdu, which is where that is, which is why we've currently got that 6,500 constraint in, so that's fine. Kevin says the winds have been very quite strange there in the south of Ireland, getting the odd, very strong burst of gusts. It has been a funny old week, hasn't it? Lots of fences blown down. I did see a funny meme on Facebook that made me laugh out loud the other day, and it was just a picture of just people throwing junk over the fence into the neighbour's garden with the caption that if you've got any unwanted junk in your house, now is the perfect time to launch it into your neighbour's garden and blame the recent storms. Obviously don't do that, I'm not condoning any of that, but it did make me laugh. Hey Zildjian, good to see you. Right, what temperature are we at? We're about to drop through the cloud layers. Oh no, we're fine. Fine, warming up nicely as we head down. That's wonderful. Okay, let's run the approach checklist then. So the Brera FQNH is 1016. Seatbelt signs are on. Minimums are 3,712. Auto brake low, EFB stowed. Mr. Guys, you've just brought a very good point. We should be landing at 11 right, shouldn't we? We should not be on 11 left. We should be on 11 right. I've got the wrong chart up there. The 11 right Zulu. Right Zulu. VIA is still the same. Insert. Okay, that's all fine. Just check those minimums now. Three 747. Yeah, I'd pulled up the wrong chart for some reason. I got two on the bottom there, and I clearly picked the wrong one. So that was daft. There we go. Got the right one now. We want 5,500 feet to descend to. Got that on, and Minto 5,500. There we go, that's fine. Go around has changed slightly. 6,000 feet, runway track till 4,500 feet, right turn to Mopta. Okay, so just rebrief that. No other change to our briefing. Right, activate the approach phase. We were free speed because obviously no ATC around, but full speed now, start slowing us down. 2,500 feet. 250 knots speed selected. India Delta Fox is the ILS that's identified and confirmed. Just cross check that because obviously we had the wrong chart up for a bit. IDF, there we go. $23, nice. So at 7.7 just here, it's mandatory that we are at 5,500 feet. That's what we've got selected as well. Oh, an absolutely gorgeous view. Love the colours that we've got down there. Cabin crew seats for landing, please. Oh, correction. Not seats for landing. Prepare the cabin crew for landing. Prepare the aircraft for landing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to land. Please can you clear
They
the
knew what I
flight
meant.
from the aisle and under your seat and place
They're
your
good.
trays in the upright position. Please fasten your seatbelts and remember to turn off all electronic devices until after landing. Thank you.
We're VMC now, I think, anyway. Yeah. Ground is getting close. We're obviously safe, but yeah, it does get you quite low down. 18 miles out. And I'm going to go direct to Nimto now. So there we are. The platform altitude is actually 5,140 feet. Which is a very strange altitude to select, but there we are.
2,500.
And radar altimeter is alive. Right, so start to level off, push for managed speed, and start slowing it down. 15 miles out. Brasilia traffic, TAM 3598 is 3 miles to the south of Nimto for the IELTS approach. Runway 11 right. Flaps 1, speed checked, flaps 1. And select speed 180. Glide slope lock blue, cap 3 dual 112, lock star. KTV, good morning to you. And runways in sight. Flaps 2 as the glide slope becomes active. Speed's checked. Flaps 2. Cabin crew seats for landing. Glide slope captured. Missed approach altitude 6,000 feet. Set. $160 knots set.
$1,000.
And 6 miles. Gear down. Spoilers. Manage speed. Flaps 3. Speed's checked. Flaps 3. Lights on. Brasilia traffic time 3598 is established. ILS 11 right. 5 mile final. Quick brief on the go around, 4,500 feet, right turn direct, Mopda. Autopilot R5 control. Little tailwind from the back right.
.500.
Stable.
.100 above. Minimum.
Continue.
.100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
So spoilers, risk green, decel. Manual brakes. Reverse it off.
Welcome to Brasilia. The local time is 1:46 p.m. It's currently a lovely and warm 26 degrees Celsius outside, that's 79 Fahrenheit. Please check around your seat for any personal belongings you may have brought on board with you, and please use caution when opening the overhead bins, as heavy articles may have shifted around during the flight. If you require deplaning assistance, please remain in your seat until all other passengers have deplaned. One of our crew members will then be pleased to assist you. Please remain seated until the aircraft reaches the gate. The captain will turn off the seatbelt sign once it's safe to get up. Thank you.
Lovely, we'll check out the replay of that in a moment. But just at the moment, admiring the scenery, because this is a freeware airport. I think this looks stunning. One of those freeware airports which just takes your breath away. There are a few around. This is the first time I'm seeing this one. I hadn't even visited this prior to the stream today, so this really is sort of brand new for me, just as you're seeing it perhaps for the first time as well. So really nice. Start that APU. It's stuff like just the fencing, which very simple but essential to any realistic airport look. KTV, how hard is it to fly the 320? I think it's like everything. The more you get used to it, the more you practice it, the easier it becomes. Hey, Amtrak. Stuff like that as well. Max windspan signs on there, 36 meters. So we'd obviously be fine with the 320. Just look like it might be raining over there in the distance. So we'll go into the terminal in the centre here, and that way we'll get to see a little bit more of the scenery as well. Pick a stand, any stand. Yep, another free scenery airport that ticks pretty much everything on the list that you could want. Oslo as well is another one, isn't it? Oslo's very, very good. So if we just select 27, was that? Well, I have no idea which stand it is that we're going into, where I'd find it on the GSX menu. Sometimes I do find these GSX menus rather difficult to try and negotiate. Let's just pull into the stand, and then we can enjoy the replay as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated until the captain turns off the seatbelt sign. Once that happens, we will start deboarding and you'll be able to leave the aircraft. Thank you. Cabin crew, doors to manual scene.
Now look at this. All of this, absolutely spot on. ATR 737, A321, A320. Right, well, I'll tell you what, before we do any sort of replay or anything like that, let me just have a look around this airport. So I'm just going to put the parking brake on. I'll leave the engines running. And then we can have a look around with the replay as well in a moment. But look at this. How good does this look? How much work, how much time must this take people to do? I mean, this is payware quality. To be fair, I've seen worse payware quality than this. What do you think, guys? Thumbs up. I'd love to know what you think of this airport in the chat as I'm just looking around it. But this looks stunning. This looks really nice. It's obviously in a part of the world where I don't think we get too much virtual traffic, do we? But yeah, that looks awesome. Highly recommend this. Great airport. Right, should we check out the replay then? Why not? So before I do that, of course, must remember to come off the VATSIM network, which we've done. And we'll check out that replay. But yes, of course, if you're on your way out, please don't forget to hit that like button. What was the landing rate anyway? I don't get to see it. You guys obviously do. I don't. There we go. $107. Oh wow, that is awesome. That is a smooth landing. But not too smooth. Don't know if it's my imagination, but those cars seem to be travelling rather fast. Yeah, airport perimeter fencing. A must-have for any airport. First line of realism. Clever, Trevor, thank you, mate. See you on the next one. Information Alpha, long time no speak, hope you're doing well. See you on the next one, Cube. Yeah, it looks alright, that, didn't it? Nice, nice approach. Decent enough landing. Yeah, information, we're just ending, I'm afraid. These are the replays. Hey look, there's roundabouts there. They're not proper roundabouts. Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed our Brazilian special. Say, we don't get to fly in this part of the world too often, but thank you so much. A massive shout out as well to all our Easyjet Sim Pilot channel members as well, both new ones and old ones. A massive thanks for the gifted 10 Easyjet Sim Pilot channel memberships as well from 397LM. Really appreciate that. So this is it. That is me done for the day. Probably done for the weekend as well, to be fair. So whatever you are doing this weekend, I hope you have a good one. Thank you so much for joining us. And of course, next streams will, as always, be posted in the Discord server. So make sure you check that out. Until then, I will leave you with the pilot's live view of our landing into Brasilia. Check out the freeware airport scenery as well, available from flightsim.to. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great weekend. I shall see you all on our next flight. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Think rate. Terrain ahead. Pull up.